So, Chef Rock, man, we are coming in some precedent times around food service, right? But from your eyes, you probably see really three-dimensional when it comes to not just the consumer perspective, but the business perspective, but you also got that future perspective in it. Can you kind of make sense of it real quick? What do you see when it comes to this food business game, man?
Well, I wish I could make sense of it, but I just try my best. Food service has always been a challenge, and right now it's even more challenging than I think it's ever been, at least for me. And we're juggling a lot of things, right? Because for one, I think the biggest thing, our customer base is changing in the district and the surrounding areas because our local economy is under pressure or attack. Some would say, I would say even. So the reason why that's important is because you have to understand what's valuable to your customers, what they want.
What's valuable to your customers, what they want. Yeah. Y'all heard that?
So yeah. I think it's really important to, understand that people are spending out less. Mm-hmm. People are very conscious. They have been for the past couple of years, but really now, of how long their dollar goes.
Okay.
So the value of their dollar is very important. Also, the federal government is under attack from Doge, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, and this administration and its employees, its local employees especially. And I heard someone say the other day, well, in relation to how many people they're here, that's not that many people. And I said, I disagree.
I disagree too.
The numbers will show it's a ton of people.
Yes.
But more importantly than a ton of people, and this was very important. If you have a federal contractor, for instance, one of my restaurants is in Northeast, one is in Crystal City.
Yep.
Both, Northeast one is close to Capitol Hill.
Yep.
Many of my customers have lost their jobs. Many of my customers were working for contractors where the contracts haven't been renewed.
Yeah.
The same thing in Crystal City, in National Landing, even with Amazon, all of these sort of segments that were government adjacent, right? So it's not just about the federal jobs lost. Mm-hmm. It's about the reach of the federal jobs.
Yes.
So I have friends or colleagues that run hotels that have had to completely shift their strategic outlook.
Change the game.
Because of the contractor, it's just so many arms and so many branches.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Of our local economy that's just been counted upon.
Yep.
And make no mistake, this is very deliberate.
Yes.
There's a lot of black people, right, in Maryland that have lost their jobs, their federal jobs, and the companies that rely on those federal jobs. The reason why I'm bringing that up as a restaurateur is because there are less customers that were solid.
Yes.
Doesn't mean people are, people are gone away, but we have to understand. You asked about the future. Uh-huh. We have to understand what the future looks like.
Okay.
And I don't know if I have the answer for that, but I do know that the first part is radical acceptance about what's going on.
Okay. Acknowledge where we are.
Understanding. From there, we can sort of try to figure out and assess where the future goes. Here's what I say about the future.
Come on now.
I think it's always been, but it will be really extremely important to understand the business landscape, to make deals. So if you going into a place, landlords understand, commercial landlords understand. So I think that they're more apt to make deals with restaurants, and whether that be percentage rent. There's a lot of second generation that I think people should look at always. Mm-hmm. But on top of that, it's very important that we collaborate in sometimes unorthodox ways.
See, that's that language, and I'm hoping y'all hear this, that is not over. We have to adjust, right? And the Greater Washington Urban League understand that. And part of the adjustment is, acknowledging where we are, but having the skill set through training to be able to be prepared for the next. And that's why I'm really excited that you are able to guide people through that, through your own master classes. If you don't know, you better find out, right? Because you don't come out here thinking you know something that you haven't not been properly prepared for. That's part of the training. Leads me to my second and last question, Rock. Chef, when you think about the prepackaged industry, that a lot of things, we think about supply chain, when we think about the businesses that need to be able to have their amazing meal delivered or in a grab and go shelf. What do you think about that, man? Why are you a part of this training, getting people prepared to be in this supply chain?
Yeah, you mentioned the words supply chain, and I think we understood, or many of us, that supply chain is very fragile during the pandemic, and so getting in where you can is really important. um, and understanding how something small, I remember one time. This is not similar related because you brought up supply chain.
Yeah, come on.
I couldn't get Coke. We ordered Mexican Coke at the
Uh,
restaurant Queen Mother's,
uh-huh.
and they had the Coke, they had the bottle, but the aluminum was stuck on the port, or it was the cap, the bottle cap was somewhere overseas, so they couldn't send me Mexican Coke. Had nothing to do with the product, but because that one cap was somewhere on a port or couldn't get through, it threw everything off. And so I was reminded
how fragile
it was. But on the prepared meal situation, I'm glad you bring that up because one thing that people say cook more, right? Which I think, I'm in the restaurant business, but I believe we should cook more at home. We should spend more time in conversations around tables in general. The reality situation is that many of our lives are not set up to go back to being at home, having dinner on the table by 6 o'clock. Many of us.
Yeah.
I would dare say, I don't know the numbers, most of us.
Yes.
But so time is very important. Value is very important.
Yes.
I had a friend that runs a grocery store, a big chain, and he said that number one profitable item was prepared foods.
Yes. That's right.
So when I think about that, I'm not gonna name no names.
No,
in the grocery store.
Yeah.
It's $10, $15 a pound when you go to these stores. And a lot of times, I shake the broccoli off. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to pay for all that water weight, right?
But the that's still
the thing, right? Nah, I don't want that. Let me get the crowns.
Yes.
I don't want no salt on my sandwich.
That's right.
Shake it. But the reality is, well, why would I pay? And when I get to the register, it's the same reaction.
Yes.
I just spent $20 on lunch. I was unprepared, but most people are not meal prepping.
Yes.
What they're doing is they're outsourcing the meal prep. And I think that's very smart because you want someone else to make it for you. I do want it to be good, first of all, nutritious, and a great value.
Yep.
And that's where things like prepared meals, and you see some of these fancy, coolers.
Yeah.
And you see them popping up, and it's a great decision. I was just at the doctor's office the other day waiting, because they had a brother waiting. Had a healthy vending machine there. It was right on point because I didn't want the chips.
Right.
So I think it's really important to be in position as people watch their dollars, but we still going to need food on the go. Don't nobody want to go to the fast food.
Nah, not at all. And so, Shel, I really appreciate that. But for those businesses who are in that grind and they need someone to hear, or they need to hear from someone who knows, what would you tell them before you go, so that they can look intelligently at the profit margin in packaged food, but also the profitability of this being a new sector that is already out there, but a booming sector that a lot of times people are overlooking because they're still thinking about brick and mortar as the future of the food business?
Well, I think that everything is about math. And, food creators often lead with their heart first, with their product first. And this is sometimes we get left behind because we don't do the math, right? So we might want the nice little corner spot, but we haven't done the math on how many chicken sandwiches we need to sell. And so the reason why I say that is because you do the math on this stream of income and see what it would take to get into that sect. Understand, I read a lot about the news and how people are moving and they're shifting. And so once you understand where people are going and where they're finding products, you can really say, okay, well, how can I serve chicken to that person?
Yeah.
Do they want chicken? Maybe not.
Right.
But everybody wants chicken.
And some of the best chicken in D.C. and Virginia, right?
I appreciate
Queen's
that,
mother.
Yes,
come on.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
I like to say so. But the reason why I'm saying that is I think that restaurants or any food creator, you have to look at who's doing well. People are not stopping traveling in airports.
Yeah.
They're in train stations. And concessions or packaged meals are a way where you can consolidate your time
Mm.
and your efforts and have this formulaic system of making money. And what that does is that frees you up to continue making money.
Yep. Catering or
Exactly,
pivoting, yeah.
catering, or if I'm in a restaurant business like me, we're not super reliant on just that one stream of people walking up to the door.
Yeah.
So what I would say is do your math,
Yes.
do the homework, and you'll see profit margins are way better than the restaurant business, and figure out how you can best position yourself. Getting the knowledge like what you all are doing.
Yeah.
Is pretty incredible. The free knowledge at that. It's not free. I'm sorry.
No,
Somebody paid for it.
Someone's
Y'all
paying
paid
for it. So someone is
Yeah.
paying for it.
Yeah.
The Greater Washington Urban League understands that someone pays so that we may continue to move forward and move our people forward. So, Chef, thank you so much
Man,
for always being available and the knowledge.